I've probably been on Tinder like 17 times.
I know you still think I'm hot. Good to know. I will probably ghost you. Welcome to Let's Talk About with Lili and Lou, the podcast in which we are going to discuss with you all the things that multidimensional women in the 21st century go through in hopes that we can break some taboos together. But first, every episode, we are going to start with a confession corner because Lou and I have actually never met in real life. We've only ever met over the internet. So we're like modern day priestess. And that's why we are going to do a confession corner with you. So today we have another confession corner. And this time, Lou is going to start it off. What did you do, Lou? Tell me.
Okay, so I didn't do anything. It's been a couple of weeks now. But I am seeing this guy and on
the tea is spilling.
Over the weekend or something. So a couple of weeks ago. He was watching the fights with his mates or something and getting drunk and stuff like that. And I was working during the day. So I was just like, oh, he's doing his own thing. I'll hear from him tomorrow and stuff, like blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then I go to sleep. And at 2 a.m. I get woken up by someone trying to break my balcony door, like my window door. And my first reaction, my phone's on airplane mode when I go to sleep because this is how I want to wake up with no notifications and shit. Okay. And so I wake up and I'm literally like, oh, someone's trying to rob me. And I grab like my teddy bear jacket. I have this little matching PJs. I grab some money. I grab my phone.
Money? What are you going to do with money when someone tries to break into your house?
They want to rob me. Let me grab some money. And then I go to put some like hug boots on, and suddenly I hear knocking, and I'm like, "Oh, hang on! The robber wouldn't. The robber that wants to kill me would not knock. What am I doing?" And I go to check, and he was standing there. We're on the first and a half floor. I'm like, "How did you even get here?
What? You climb up the balcony drunk?"
Yeah. It was funny as
this
something
is
that
why
I feel like I manifested as well.
Sooner.
So.
This is why men die sooner in life. Like, this is why men don't get to an old age on average.
Wow, that's so probably stupid. True, actually. And our apartment is not very secure.
No, exactly. Maybe you should do something about the safety.
What the fuck? I mean, the window there wasn't breaking, so that's cool. Like, this, the lock works, but if you find people on your balcony next morning. Oh my God.
Also, if you in the middle of the night open the door for them, then it's a whole different story, Lou.
But maybe I should turn my phone off first and like try to call someone or make sure.
Yes, maybe
instead of I was going to run out through the door.
Like, let me see who that is. Let me see who's trying to kill me in the middle of the night. Love this story.
Cool
love
story.
It. Well, my confession is a little bit of a personal one. Or I just came back from a wedding in Montenegro, and it was a fairy tale, not gonna lie. But it was kind of rough on me because I got my heart broken not too long ago. And I was fifth wheeling all these lovely couples who were extremely in love. And I had the best time, don't get me wrong, but oof.
That must have been hard still.
Oof. Yeah. Yes, it was. It hurt. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that brings us to today's episode. Let's not dwell on that sad story for too long.
Yeah.
That brings us to today's episode.
And they say sometimes the harshest endings are actually the best beginnings.
Yes.
Just
let's
that.
Exactly. Let's keep that in mind.
Let's keep that in mind.
We're just going to assume that is true. But it also brings us to today's topic, which is
what are we talking about, Lili?
Dating apps. Yay! Lucky me, I can get back on them. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No, actually, I am not getting back on them, but doesn't mean that I haven't been on them for the longest time, because I'm personally one of those people who does not really have anything against dating apps. I know there's certain people who are like, oh, dating apps, I would never do that. But I feel like during a pandemic, it's just impossible.
What else are you going to do? I guess. Yeah,
exactly.
I've been lucky here in Australia, but most people how do you meet people? Yeah.
As
You
in
can't go
lucky
out.
because the lockdown wasn't as bad and you still met
We
people?
basically haven't been, well, I am in lockdown right now as we're talking. It's been a week. Actually, it's
Look
been
at
4
you.
days.
Oh,
But
you
I haven't been in
dramatic.
lockdown since last year. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's so nice.
and we were going out and dancing and stuff, which
I
like,
saw
yeah,
that
I'm
on
the
your
one
stories
that I'm
actually.
seeing now at the party. So yeah.
Okay, so what is your opinion on dating apps then?
To be honest, I hate them.
Oh.
I've tried them so many times, but I hate them. They're not for me. I always knew I wanted to meet someone organically.
Yeah.
I've been on most of them because I just, didn't know how to meet people really, except like you don't really meet people drunk at a party, or I did, like I said, a consent episode a couple times. So I already knew that this wasn't how I was going to meet someone interesting.
Yep. Nope.
So yeah, I have tried. I've probably been on Tinder like 17 times, which I'm really lucky that I was never banned. Between 2 weeks, I think my record was a day and a half. Yes. Between 2 weeks and 2-3 months, I think. And I've also left it without using it, like deleting the app and leaving the account when I was seeing someone here and there, or once. But yeah, so I don't really like them. I don't know how to use them. I hate it.
So which dating apps did you use?
I did Tinder the most, like for like 17 times. I think I tried Bumble 2 or 3 times.
I don't like Bumble, because on Bumble also, for the people who don't know, Bumble is a dating app where women have to start talking, and it's so confronting because every time like you swipe, or for me it's so confronting, every time I swipe on someone and you have a match, then you have 24 hours as the woman to send them a message. And for me, every single time it's like, oh yeah, I know we're a match now, but I really don't want to talk to you. And then you're like, okay, did I just do this for validation? Yes, I did. And then you're like, oh, I'm so annoying. I should delete this app. So Bumble was too confronting for me.
Well, I had the same, because I ended up swiping left because I was like, what if we match and then I have to talk to this guy? Shit. He's going to feel bad if I don't message him first, but I have nothing to say.
I don't want to talk to you.
I tried Inge as well, but same, like people are basically showing you straight away that do you know how it works?
Yeah.
You tried Hinge. It's like the dating app to get off the app. That's how they say it. So it's like, okay, you know what? I actually do want something serious. So I'm going to try this. And you show people, well, actually, out of my 17 times on Tinder over 4 years, you see the same people on there. So you're like, oh, I'm not going to swipe right. You're still here. Awkward. You're still here? What a fuck boy. And then I'm like, oh, I'm still here. I'm not a fuck boy.
Exactly. Okay. It's like, Lou, what are you saying there?
Shit. It's like, oh, this is an old friend. We're both still both haven't made it. Cool. And then
don't say haven't made it like that is the only end goal, That's not
no,
nice.
there's different ways. I know, that's true. But eventually you find that everyone migrates to different apps. Sometimes they have them all at the same time.
That is true. That is true. People try one thing and then they move on to different things. Yeah, it's so awkward because like those people where you're like, you've been on dating apps for a while and then you move from app to app and you bump into the same people everywhere, and then certain people you match with on all of them and you never talk.
You never talk.
You either never talk or
it's your regulars. Regulars boost of self-esteem. Hey, yay! I know you're here. Let me give you a little swipe right.
Exactly. I know you still think I'm hot. Good to know, but not interesting.
I did not see it like that. That way I would sing it like, oh, you'll do. Or like, yeah, we're never going to talk. So it's just like, it's a PT swipe. You see it as a really, that's good.
Yep. Or like, or you do talk, but you just never ask each other out. It's just never like, oh, hey, let's meet on in real life. And actually, so how I started using dating apps eventually, because I hate like you, I hate them. I think everyone hates them. No one is on there for their pleasure. And I just put in my bio, one of my friends gave me this advice. I just put in my bio, let's just meet for a 10-minute walk. I'm not really one to chat forever.
You told me that. Because that was cool.
Like I don't see the use in chatting to someone online that I've not met before. This sounds very strange because we have only met online, but you know what I mean? Like with a random guy that I've never met, like having these Tinder chat messages forever and not meeting. Because for me, the longer I chat to you, the more I make up this image in my mind of how you're going to be.
Creating scenarios.
Exactly. And then when I see you in real life and you are a little bit different than that, it's like, oh, that's not how I imagined you.
Bubble explodes.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, but now I don't want to date you. But the thing is, if I would have met you like straight away, I probably would not have minded, because then I didn't have an image of you in my head, you know?
Yeah.
And you can feel if there's
you could tell straight away if there's chemistry, if there's click, if you're connecting, if you have things in common, that kind of stuff, which is why I prefer organically.
Exactly. So why do you think that you were still using dating apps? Because you have a very strong opinion, even stronger than mine, like on that you don't like them, but why do you use them then? Why do you keep downloading them?
Because I hate to say it, but I got bored and didn't know how to meet people. So I would just always be like, okay, I'll give it another go. Like maybe this is how the world is right now. And maybe the person that, will get me, or like I'll meet someone that feels the same way about them, but he's on there because he hasn't been able to find me anywhere else. Maybe I don't go out enough. I don't know.
Bump into me in the supermarket and then he found me on Tinder.
Definitely. There's definitely be a bit of a boost of self-esteem once or twice. Like I remember, just if you're not in a great place or something like that, like last year when I was in a tough living situation and stuff, I literally started a Tinder experiment as a joke thing where I put like that random stupid bio to test people, saying clearly, because I realized no one knows what they want on there, or no one's wants to say what they want, like, oh, I want to hook up or I want a relationship. They're just going to leave it in between. So I pretended that I wanted to hook up because I was kind of getting back into dating, basically after the breaks and stuff. And so I got a lot of different people, either, hey, I got what you need kind of thing, and then others that were really trying to romanticize, like, I want to marry you or that kind of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I literally just told you, like, my bio was literally like, if you're a respectful guy, and want to have fun kind of thing, like swipe right, something like that. So there was no way to like, and I was just, and no one was hurt in the making of this, by the way. It was just for my amusement in a way, or like as a test thing. I didn't really plan to do this. I was kind of entertaining myself and trying to see how people were going to react. Like I never like pretended to be or give people like attention or something like that. But eventually it became a little bit of an experiment.
A real thing, yes. So I remember this moment in time where dating websites, because back then it wasn't apps, but just dating websites was something that people really looked at like, oh, that's real sad.
Or like Meetic and stuff like that.
Exactly. Or Your Perfect Match, I think it's called.
Oh, maybe,
like that. And
I think here in Australia, they have one called Plenty of Fish as well.
Oh, really?
POF, Plenty of Fish. Yeah, I think someone said that to me one time.
That's a strange name.
Interesting.
But everyone knows what it means. And so back then it was just something that everyone found super sad if you did that. But now that I think of it, now it's such a big part and almost everyone's on them. The wedding I went to, the couple met each other through Tinder and they got married.
Yeah. I know a couple that met through Tinder as well.
A lot of people meet on Tinder and it's just like a way to, I don't know, force the organic meetup, which is also why I put in my bio what I put in my bio, as in like, I just want to act like I didn't meet you through Tinder and we're just going to go for a walk. And if it's nice, then we can see each other again. If it's not, then I will probably ghost you.
No. I also have a strong opinion about this, Lily. We've talked about this. We don't ghost people. This is
Even
how
after
Lily
a
and I
10-minute
met as
walk?
well. I think you reacted to a story of me saying that, or there was something about this. That's how we became friends.
Yup.
Because I was like doing all those Q&As and basically acting like a dating coach or something on Instagram, which I was doing very well. But
You were.
I'm against ghosting because you wouldn't do to others what you don't want to be done to you. So even when for me, it was super uncomfortable. I remember sometimes this year, actually, was it? Yeah, no, last year, December or something. I was at the pool, just doing laps and stuff. And like this random guy started chatting me up and yeah, just being friendly. He had friends around and then he ended up asking for my number, going for a coffee later on. And I was just like, fuck, I don't actually know how to get out of this. Like there's these friends and stuff. I'm just going to say yes. And then he messaged me and it's like, how do I get out of this? Like it's so uncomfortable, but there's plenty of things you can say like, hey, actually not that interested. I'm not available at the minute. Actually, I have a post right here. I prepared for this. Things you can say instead of ghosting. Hey.
Oh, I need to remember these. Okay. Shoot.
I had a nice time with you, but just don't feel a spark. So if you
okay, let me try. I had a nice time with you, but I just don't feel a spark. That was easy. I can do that. Yep.
Thanks for reaching out. I'm not interested in going on another date or on just one date, but appreciated our conversation. Okay. You really are wonderful, but I am going to pursue other connections. That one's a bit harsh, but I mean, tough love.
That's a bit harsh and also very clinical.
Yeah. I realize I'm not ready to date. Wishing you all the best.
That's a lie, though. I'm just not ready to date you.
Yes, that's true. I have a lot going on in my life right now, and I know that I'm not able to prioritize a relationship. I feel like you're getting dumped, but yeah. Thank you for a nice date. I didn't feel a strong connection, so don't think it's right to go out again.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I remember you told me that I shouldn't, because I told you before, like, oh yeah, I am kind of guilty when it comes to ghosting. Cause I just feel like if I've just gone on a walk with you for 10 minutes and it's super clear that there is no connection, but apparently, yeah, you are right. If they did feel like there was a connection, they message you, like, why not message them back saying like, hey, for me, it's okay not to.
Okay, bad story. Let me tell you something. When I was heartbroken the other time, anyway, I cried a little and then I gave my phone to Lauren. We put a little meme in my Tinder bio. And because I'm someone that it gets superficial, we can go into that later, but like it's really hard for me to swipe right because I think I'm committing to talking to someone straight away. So I always swipe left. Like I'll literally swipe left on someone's age or someone's kilometers away from me, like distance and stuff. Like I'm ridiculous. So I gave my phone
more
to
than
Lauren.
500 meters away from me. That's too far. Bye.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I gave my phone to well, sometimes you see 80 kilometers and it's like, that's kind of Brisbane, which I'm never going to drive there because I'm scared to drive.
That's too far.
Anyway, so it's already putting a toll on toll. Like it's making it hard. So I'm just like, you know what, let's not even bother. So yeah, I gave my phone to my friend, Lauren, and because she knows me and stuff, she started swiping. And from there I had like plenty of matches and a couple of dates lined up that I didn't want to go to because I was not mentally ready at all. Because I was staying at her house and there was one that was around the corner. She was like, you go right now, you go tonight and stuff. I was not ready. So I went there, absolutely not good. I'm still crying. Like I was crying that day and stuff. I go there like, and he kind of, we meet for food and we both get our own food and then we go eat outside to watch the sunset. And like, there was no conversation. It was really hard to talk.
That's too much.
I was not motivated. Hang on. Not motivated at all. Go home and he's like, oh, hey, when can I see you again and stuff? And I could feel that there was no spark, we literally had nothing to talk about. And actually, no, that's like, he messaged me like, oh my God, you're perfect. Like, I really want to see you again and stuff. And I was just like, did we go on the same? It was not even a date. Like,
were we there?
So same, I did not ghost him. I said, look, I don't think I'm ready because it was true in that scenario. So it wasn't over the first one. But it was just like, he did not even take it well. Because usually I've always had some people tell me, oh, thanks for telling me and stuff like that. Like they always, when you send the message that you're not ghosting them, they actually appreciate it. I've always had people being like, oh, I appreciate that. Thanks for the honesty. That one was like, oh, what do you mean? I don't understand. Can we still be friends and stuff? And I was just, oh, I don't know what to say.
Please
And
no.
so then I ghosted.
Okay, so lesson, if someone tells you they don't want it, believe them. Just say, okay, goodbye. Because I have stories like this as well, where you like went on one date and people just keep messaging you, even, okay, maybe also because my like, okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm kind of seeing someone else, or like I realize that I'm more interested in this other person or whatever. That person that I said that to is still to this day messaging me occasionally being like, hey, how's the dating life going? And it's actually a super awkward story because this guy has a similar name, or has the same name as one of my friends. And he messaged me on Instagram saying, oh, how are you? Have you been dating lately? And I thought it was my friend who asked me, because I quickly checked on Instagram and I thought, oh, he has a new profile pic, but cool. So I replied honestly. I replied with, oh yeah, I haven't really been dating anyone, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized it was that guy that I went on a date with months ago. And it was just super awkward because, well, I had just confessed to him that I had not been dating, but I had been hooking up with a few people. And it was just like, why did I tell you this? So yeah, it was, that was like this is the reason why I do ghost. I know I shouldn't, and I'm trying not to, but yeah, probably scaring off people
like
right
people
now.
People that ghost aren't really bad people, but it is a bit of a coward thing to do as well. It like everyone has their reasons, but it is being scared. Because I remember when I didn't ghost people, it was so uncomfortable for me. And like I remember even for that guy at the pool, I asked my housemate, I was like, okay, I wrote it this way. Does it sound like just straight to the point, not mean, but whatever? And then let it go. He's appreciated, like whatever, and we left it. But it's just be respecting people, like giving them the time of day kind of to say that. But sometimes it is easier to just disappear. But it leaves a lot of us, like, oh, we should do an episode on attachment styles.
Yes, we will.
Because it gives people that are anxious, for example, makes them wonder if it's about them. Ghosting is never about the ghostee. It's about the one that does the ghosting, right? The ghoster. Yeah. But you don't know that. And you always think it's about you. Like, oh, did I say something wrong? Did I show too much interest too soon? Did he not like me for me and stuff? And like, it doesn't matter, but you leave that door open. Well, it's like it's closure as well. It doesn't leave closure. It's like, what did I do wrong that I wouldn't be doing next time with the next person then?
Yeah. Okay. So moral of the story, Lili, you cannot ghost people anymore. As much as I don't ignore people in real life, I can't ignore them online. Okay. On to the next and last part of this episode, hookup culture, because we were talking about how dating apps relate to hookup culture. And how do they, Lou? How do they relate to hookup culture?
What do you mean?
Like how dating apps relate to hookup culture. Do they promote it? Do they make people want to hook up more? Is it, I
was like, what's the question exactly? Yeah, actually, I think one of the reason I hate the apps the most is because it makes people think they have a whole range of options, and that the next time they swipe will be someone better and more entertaining or hotter or better in bed or whatever it is. You always think there's going to be a next best thing. So you're never fully committed. So everyone that's on there, well, I mean, I'm generalizing, guys, I know, but you know what I mean? Everyone that's on there usually don't know what they want. And this is why the people that meet on Tinder and have nice, beautiful story, they know what they want and they're not afraid to communicate and being authentic straight away. And they really keep talking and they meet real, but the other ones usually.
Yeah. But like if you kind of compare it to Grindr, which is the dating app most gay people use, that is basically 99% for hookups. Don't you think that
Yeah.
if we just accepted that dating apps are for hookup culture, isn't the
There
problem
would be
solved
less
then?
people on it.
Yeah, you think
I
so?
think there would be less people on it.
Less women
Because
or less men as well?
oh no, people. Yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah.
both. Because I have met a couple people that actually wanted, like, said that they wanted more or something like that. Like last time, I remember I had a guy tell me that he wouldn't be okay with like stripping and all that kind of stuff on the dating app because he was looking for something more serious as well.
Okay.
It's a conversation that ended there, but yeah.
You're like, okay, bye.
I was like, yeah.
Do you ghost him?
No, I think we just stopped talking. Like we basically was saying like we wouldn't be compatible, so we just left it together. Yeah, that was like a ending conversation.
Very grown up thing to do.
So no one ghosted everyone. Yes, exactly. Grown up thing to do is nicely.
Very good. Very
but
good.
I do think people, because they don't know what they want, they'll eventually like get into the hookup culture or like start hooking up and stuff, and eventually they realize they want more.
Yeah.
Or they're afraid of wanting more, like, because that's why there's all these situationships where people aren't officially together. And yeah.
But so when I look at it, like things. When I look at it, my the most hookups that I had were not through dating apps. So my real life promotes hookup culture more than the dating apps do for me, at least. And the dating apps,
I agree.
How
I was
I
the
use
same,
them
actually.
is just like, oh, let's just see if there is someone fun on there that I can date. If not, then not. That's cool. But I'm not gonna lie, like most guys that I've dated, the last 2 guys that I dated came from dating apps. Like they didn't work out, but that's how I met them. But also, and that's kind of the same with maybe sliding into a DM. That's kind of the same as a dating app, in my opinion, because you meet online and it's really superficial, maybe a little bit less, because obviously I show a lot of my life on my Instagram. So people feel like they know me.
On that at all as well. Social media and privacy and stuff, actually. Yeah.
People feel like they know me when they have followed me on Instagram for a while. So then they slide into my DM, like thinking that they know me. So maybe that's a little bit different than dating apps, but also, I don't like dating apps because I'm in a different period in my life where I'm like, okay, I do want something more serious. And I do feel like there's a lot of people who just want to hook up on dating apps. But back when I was in my hookup phase, oh, hell to the yes. I had fun on there. It was nice. Like it's easy. I don't have to go out for that. And I don't really like to go out. So for me, it was perfect. It was an easy, accessible way to hook up with someone.
That's interesting, because it's like when I did that experiment, I thought I was going to do that because I remember I had just moved in my apartment by myself, and my best mate had told me, oh my God, you've been in Australia 4 years, you've literally done nothing. Like you're a nun, like you should have some fun. And this is when I realized I didn't know what I wanted, but because I was afraid to say it to myself, like when I would describe it to my friends, they were like, Lou, you want a boyfriend? Like, no, this is not. What do you mean, commitment? I'm a bit of a in between, but it took me a while. And so it's just like, I feel like it promotes not knowing, even though there's easy access to people. And
true.
And there's people on there that also are going to try to get in your pants by pretending to do something else. Like you have like fuck boys, fuck girls, like they're not going to give you their intentions straight away either.
So all in all, like I feel like dating apps are just easy gratification. It's just something that's easy, accessible, and it maybe promotes not really thinking about what you want and how you see your life evolving when it comes to like hooking up and relationships and stuff. So it doesn't really need it doesn't ask for a lot of soul searching.
Yeah, it can be hard to like start conversations as well. Like, what do you talk about? Conversation starters. Usually,
which is,
hey, how are you?
Yeah, but I feel like, so we've talked about Tinder and Bumble then, but like Hinge, the dating app that you talked about before, it's a different setup. So I do feel like that promotes a little bit more like try to get to know someone, and like you have to fill out these statements saying like, okay, what is your favorite place to visit, or exactly. And you can, when you start the conversation, you can just reply to one of those, and then you've have a subject to talk about basically. So
I got a
feel
bit
like
overwhelmed by that setup, even though like at that point
Oh, really?
I knew what I wanted. I was just like, oh, that like yeah, because they can see when you've accepted, seen messages and stuff. It puts the same pressure as Bumble for me, like having to
Oh, okay.
talk to someone and stuff. I was just like, actually, yeah, the online part makes me, I don't know if it feels stalkerish. I'm just getting like, oh, like are they expecting
Yeah.
me to chat and
Stressing me
text
out.
and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah. I'm more of an
Okay.
organic person.
Okay.
But I tried. It
Well,
makes me
that's
wonder
good.
for the future as well, actually. Like what's especially with what we're living, like the pandemic and stuff, like what's the future of dating apps and or dating in general? Like what's going to happen with apps and stuff?
Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. I think that's an interesting note to leave this leave this episode with, because what is it going to be like? Because here in the Netherlands, I know that most people who weren't on dating apps did go on dating apps during the pandemic. But I just wonder,
Yeah.
like, is that going to go away again when everything opens up? Or are people going to still be on that? Do people, yeah, is it
I
kind
think
of,
in a way, because the pandemic, from what I've heard, has also made people more anxious to be around others. Social life is
true?
like it's created, yeah, a little bit of mental health things from what I've
Yeah.
seen from people in the UK or actually even in Sydney and stuff like that, because they've been in lockdown for about 6 weeks and stuff now.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like I'm things that you used to do naturally. Like even last year, I was in lockdown for 2 months, I think. And the first time I was going back to the gym, I was like, oh,
There's so many
I'm
people.
scared.
Yes.
I'm scared to go. What the hell? Why am I anxious?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like that would be still a bit of a safe way to meet others, but
yeah. Well, I am very curious to hear
interesting.
what our listeners think about this. Do you use dating apps, or would you stay on them after the pandemic? Did you go on them during the pandemic? Please
Do you
let
ghost
us know.
people? Please let me know.
Are you just as a shitty person as Lili? Then let me know.
It's not shitty, but it's not.
I was kidding.
It's one of those things that's been normalized that shouldn't have been.
It really
because
is.
it's not
Yeah,
nice.
I know.
Yeah.
And I am definitely setting the intention now to not do that again, because it's not nice and I don't like it done to me either. So there you go. I think that's the perfect note to end this episode with. Thank you all for listening again. We would love to hear what you think about this episode, and we'd love to see you again next week. No, in 2 weeks. Oh, we love to see you back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.